Welcome to this channel. So yesterday I have shared the S21 and also the instructions on the practice of S21 with the explanations of the section 1 of the S21. And after that, many of our Wing Chun friends message me, ask me to talk more on the development process and so forth, so forth, so forth. So one of our Wing Chun friends messaged me and I replied, typing, "You are greedy. Can't you properly chew your food and digest it? Or else you're going to choke to death." So of course this is a joke to him. The reality is, if one really want to develop Kung Fu, one must not get into those greedy mentality. People sometimes they are greedy because they want to be number one. Oh, I know this in-depth stuff. You cannot do that if you want to develop Kung Fu. The minute you do that, you're going to cause yourself problem because you're going to skip details. So like yesterday, I shared the instructions, the level of Kung Fu of S21 and also the first section. Make sure get that handle. Make sure that one can even do it in the sleep, or else one really will not be able to develop anything. Saying that, however, I like to uh, I like to fulfill people's requests because in the past 160 years, there are many misinformations and failed educations. So I like to share because only if we have good educations, we be able to develop the Kung Fu. So today I like to share with you more. And of course, this is something which is in past 160 years nobody share, at least not in the public. Now, when I say that we want to be able to do it, to develop the S21 in 6 months, not 160 years, because we have already wasted 160 years. We burned the time, so we don't have time. Many friends ask me, "So Hendrik, are you BSing? Are you sure that in past 160 years that people did not say this?" Well, let me tell you what. Let me tell you in detail why they cannot do it. Now, again, this is not about Hendrik is the supreme king of S21. No, it is not. It is based on the teaching of the ancient ancestor and the teaching of Shaolin, which is the teaching of Buddha. Okay? It's not Hendrik's teaching. I just share with you what is going on. Now, the design of the sets of Wing Chun, the 3 sets. Okay? Now we focus on the Xiu Lim Tao set. The Xiu Lim Tao sets of the version 1960, disregard of lineage today exists in the world, including the set which is designed in the Canton Wushu Association lately. They all miss the point. They do not have the content. That's why they will not be able to develop what S21 developed. Okay? So of course I need to tell you why, right? Because this is like an engineering design. Take this like a design review in Silicon Valley. If I tell you that I have to, I am responsibility. I'm responsible to tell you why and tell you how to get there. Now, the Xiu Tao of the 1960 version, disregard of lineage today, okay, is a technical based design. It's a technical based design. You often heard people say, in our Xiu Tao, we have this techniques, we have this technique. This techniques is different than that techniques. And even in the Canton Wushu Association today say, we just gather all the techniques. Well, those are technique-based stuff. So people add in techniques, people take out techniques. The entire thing is only techniques. Well, that is not Buddha's teaching, and that is not Xiu Tao's teaching. Remember, Wing Chun is supposed to be able to listen to your opponent's force and power and momentum and what so. Remember? So that's why we have sticky hand. Remember? Well, guess what? All of those have to base on awareness, not techniques. What techniques? A flowing water, there's no techniques. There's no a particular pattern, a flowing water flow. A flowing water just flow. Okay? Again, techniques. If you face a tiger, you can say, "Oh, I train in eagle crawl, in snake, in whatever form, leopards or dragon." If you face a tiger, do you think the tiger care? Do you think the tiger care whether you do MMA or Wing Chun or tiger style or whatever style? Do you think the tiger care? Of course, the tiger don't, right? So techniques is not the it. It is the awareness, which is the it. The tiger will aware of you and it will execute based on its momentum, its power, its VO2 max, its body's muscular endurance. Not those chi or magic nonsense, okay? Just look at it. You face a tiger, do tiger care? What the hell type of martial art you practice? What is the base? Awareness. So in the Buddha's teaching, before one get enlightenment, one need to get into with the awareness. Okay? S21 is like the 1850s Xiu Tao said, is awareness based. I can tell you today, all those in the Cho family today screw up. Why? Because they thought that it is a technical base. It is not. It is a awareness base. Awareness base meaning that once you hit that level, your motion, your movement, doing the exactly same set might be have variations, but that's okay. Because even every day, you are not going to do the same thing. One can never step in the same flow water twice. Okay? So it is the awareness base. That's why, because of it is a differences between awareness-based and techniques-based. What the techniques things or the techniques type of design cannot do in 160 years, awareness can do it in 1 second. Because once you know it is awareness, you never get attached into try to perfect your techniques anymore. Okay? So, like yesterday I shared, you have this awareness base. And you need to know that awareness base is not philosophy, not opinion, not ideas, not translations. It is about natural. That's why in Wing Chun Inception, I have already put in front of everybody's face or everybody's eyes the natural world and the intelligence world. This is belong to the intelligent worlds. When you get into awareness base, you get into the natural world. And in the natural world, you'll be able to use the intelligent thing. But if you trap in the intelligent world, you'll never be able to get into the natural world. That's the beauty of the natural world. Okay? Say it again. If you develop in the natural world, you can get back to the intelligent world and use it. And then you can go back to the natural world. However, if you develop in this intelligent world with philosophy, opinion, ideas, and techniques, you cannot get into the natural world. That's why for past 160 years, you cannot get there. Why? You don't get it. Why? Because people is looping here. So, yesterday I shared this, right? Awareness with your physical body. So I make a video yesterday on the squatting. What does it do? Your physical body, you have to aware of it. If you don't be able to aware of it or sense it, in the ancient, when people say "tang" in Cantonese, "tang," listen. That's aware, not using your ear to listen. That's aware, awareness. Okay, aware of your body, aware, which is yesterday section one. I already shared with everybody what to do. It is not that squat. Tomorrow I can do an oblique, not squat. Then you say, well, Hendrik, how come you change the technique? I don't change the technique because my base is not techniques. It is always an awareness base. So techniques is just a finger to point at the moon. What the set want you to know is you aware of your physical body. Okay, so when you flown with it, only when you flown with it, not try to asking me, oh, how can you get here? How can you get there? Are you serious, Hendrik? 160 years you can do in 6 months? Don't ask me that. Just get this thing flown. Awareness and aware of your physical body. Only that you can aware of your uh, physical movement because now you get in the dynamic. Only after this you can get on top of this to your breathing. And then on top of the breathing to your meridian, the chi meridian. On top of that, your force, your strength, handling. On top of that, your momentum. So am I need 6 months? No, I don't. Wing Chun Inception. What is that? In the chapter of synchronization. That's the entire thing I show you already. Right? Momentum, force, physical body, breathing, and chi synchronization. Didn't I share with you everything? If you, like the ancient Zen student, Once they see it, it breaks through already. Now they know what it is. So this is called what? They have an insight and they know the direction. They will never, they will not confuse anymore. They know the direction. It is awareness based, and as soon as they get flown by one to one, they will get there. And how long you can get there for everybody is different. But at least that once one knows this, there's a chance to get there. If one doesn't know this, you can put another 3,000 years, you don't know what it is because you're chasing around techniques. Or my Tansa have to do this angle, this angle, this angle. Who cares? Like a tiger, when it hop at you, did the tiger have to say, I have to hop at you this angle, that angle, so I can best fight a tiger? Or who cares? Because I'm aware, I adapt to it right away. That's the bottom line. So why chasing techniques for 160 years and end up that you're missing your receiving? Because you're not aware. And of course, you turn it back, if one is not at that level, one will not be able to know what it is. And now I put this in the Western way. See, Chinese don't do this for you, right? For past 160 years, Chinese don't do this for you. A good thing about Western education is the analytical. And guess what? Zen, real Zen, is like this. It's like engineering talking. Real Zen. If you have met a real Zen monk, their mind is really sharp because they are awareness based. They can penetrate things through. That's why they say the wisdom is like diamond. Why? Diamond can cut anything. Okay? It is not those philosophy make believe Zen. No mind, no attachment. That's called BS. If you meet a real Zen monk, which I met a few, even when I talk to him, I'm scared. Why? Because whatever my blind spot, they see it right away. And they're gonna come in from the blind spot because they are awareness based. So what the heck is all this training? Does it matter? It doesn't matter. It just every layer you open up more awareness. You open up your awareness of your physical body, your physical movement, your breathing, your meridians, your force, your momentum. They open the entire thing up. Zen? This is Zen. That's why the Shaolin say 长拳如一 martial art and Zen is one. This is what it is. It uses to break away. So it's like the Buddha or the Bodhisattva is tricking you. Oh, I'm teaching you martial arts. Actually, it is not teaching you martial art. The Bodhisattva or Buddha want you to get enlightenment, to liberate. That's why I say, well, I'm teaching you martial arts. By the time you get through it or halfway through it, you say, well, I don't want that martial art anymore, because liberations is much, much, much better than aggression. Okay? So the 1850s Wing Chun is based on this. Everybody, because we are human, everybody have awareness. Because we are human. We have Buddha nature. So everybody can do this. It's not just me. I'm not. I just tell you that what is the Buddha's teaching, the ancient ancestors' teaching. And let me share with you. You can get the best AI for next 3,000 years. Artificial intelligence. None of those AI to the future be able to replace your awareness because they are machine. However, if you are having this philosophy, opinion, ideas, The AI can mark you down because they can see they have a pattern recognitions. They have deep learning. They can study you. But once you get into the awareness, like the water, flow like water. Water never, you never step in the same flowing water twice. AI cannot get a grasp on you. So in the next century, in the year, the world of artificial intelligence, what is the precious thing of human? Awareness. Because if you say, well, I know these techniques, the AI know the technique, be able to program the robot to do that techniques. But if I'm an awareness base, it's keeping changing. You won't see my pattern. That is the bottom line of Zen. Okay. So it is there already. I already transferred the basic. Okay. So I just share with you just now. Big deal. It's just the awareness of this synchronization. What you can do in, say, if you're really, really careful, in 3 years, you do not need 60 years to guess. And as for this physical body stuff in the beginning Wing Chun, didn't I already tell you on the bowl, the 7 bowls, how to handle the 7 bowls, how to handle those things? As for the movement in the Wing Chun matrix, didn't I tell you already? The aware of the physical and the breathing, get into the beginning of the breathing states. And here we further get into the deeper. The N1, the nurture chi. So does it take 6 months? No, it doesn't take 6 months. I just tell you whatever minutes I explain to you. Once you know in your mind, you will not turn back. That's what it is. So that's why in Zen it say what? Sudden enlightenment. You don't go through all this kind of trial error. You just go shoot in like pointing at the moon. So everybody can get this. Why look at me? Everybody can get this. But for past 160 years, your Xiu Nim Tao cannot do it. That's why you cannot arrive to this. You're not following what the ancient teaching is. Yeah, it is not Shaolin anymore. Okay. Now with this, I can share with you what is the problem. So in the physical and the movement awareness, this page, most people can get it. However, when you get into the breathing state, then there is a blockage there. This breathing state of the Shaolin-based martial art is based on Anapanasati. Anapanasati. So I shared this book before. Okay, get it. It is a really affordable, and please read this if you want a real kung fu. So when you get into this, you start to using the get into the Anapanasati teaching of the Buddha. Only with that you can go to meridians and going down, down, down. Otherwise, is you are in here. Okay, that's why they cannot see that there's the momentum. Okay, if you're stuck in here, it's a physical body, physical movement. You will not be able to 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 uh, to know all this thing. Now, so this is the Buddha's teaching Anapanasati. Okay, the samatha and samadhi, the samatha and vipassana, samatha and vipassana teaching. Now, if you addicted with opium, drug, sex, violence, money, aggressions, which is the poison, you will never be able to penetrate this layer. If you addicted with drug and opium, you will never get your breathing developed. You'll never get it. Because in the breathing development here, as in Anapanasati, we do research today, you need to be able to handle your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. So anybody who get this in Anapanasati, the real guy who practice samatha and vipassana, they can control, they can handle their heart rate, their breathing rate. They can let go their thoughts. That's breathing. That's why you have the Anapanasati. Okay? So if you are addicted in opium, in drug, in sex, in violence, in aggressions, in money, you're looping here. The Buddha said this is a poison. You're keeping drinking your poison. I have money, I want more money, money never enough. Okay? I take opium, you get into the hallucination, delusion, and it never enough. Same with sex. Again, that's not Hendrix talking about. This is Buddha's teaching. You can read it here. Or even the Surangama, even more strict. Okay? There's a rule there. It tells you already, once you get into this poison, even music, if you fall in love with the music, you're going to get trapped here and you're going to loop here. Okay? So, what is this? This is the opposite of liberations. You're going down here, it is going liberations. So in the ancient China, you see people, once they have some awareness of the physical body or some awareness of the movement, they start become king of this, king of that. Once you get into the king of this, king of that mentality, you fall into this track. You loop yourself inside there until you drain your energy. So as in Srangama, I say that if you enter into the demon state meaning that you just toxic yourself. You get into a loop. Not really like a demon, no. You get into a loop, you trap yourself into a loop, you will drain your energy. Because your desire, your addictive, is much more powerful than your will when you get into here. So that's why the Buddha say, I don't want all this. I drop all this. I get into the awareness. So I'm always clean. And that is reparations. Over here, you attach to a state. Oh, say say today I call myself the the king of S21. Hendrik is the king of S21. Everybody say, well, good, Hendrik is the king of S21. When I fall in love with that S21, guess what? I get into here. I want more. I want you guys praise more to me. Clap your hand more to me. I want you guys all make me like a king 21. Well, I don't know that I'm actually trapping myself. So that's why you look at in the Buddha Sutta, it always starts as, thus I have heard. It doesn't say, I have achieved this power. The Buddha Sutra never say that. The Buddha Sutra say, thus I have heard. One time, Buddha have thought of this. Even though they have achieved that, they never said, it's me. Well, when you get me, what is that? Ego. When I'm the king, there's ego. So no mind, No ego, liberations is awareness. Okay? Ego is just one identity. When say I'm my son's father, that I have ego already when I met my son. So when he did something wrong, I need to tell him that hey, you straighten this thing up. I have my ego already. That is the father character. But then once that thing's over, you let it go. You back to your awareness. That's why with the nature, with the awareness, you always can go back to the philosophy. If you are in the philosophy or intelligent world, you never know what is in the natural. And thus you never get out from this. So in this world, you can see people just because of they have certain philosophy, they can be authority, pioneer, blah, blah, blah. And end up that they trap themselves here. Okay? So breathing down, meridian, chi, and everything, you need to get rid of that because if you cannot get rid of this, meaning that you cannot settle your parasitic nervous systems, you cannot handle your neuromuscular handling clearly. How can you going to go down here? So over here, after the anapanasati, your mind, your awareness and your breathing is one. It become one. And that's where you enter into the samadhi. The entire thing you see now is a technology. Who taught philosophy? Who taught lineage? Who taught techniques? It is a different world. That's the reason why I can tell everybody that in the YouTube, what you cannot do in 160 years, I can do in 6 months. Why? You based on the teaching of the ancient, the teaching of Buddha. And learning this S21, meaning that you can liberate, like the Shaolin said, right? 三钱一如, martial arts and Zen is one. That's what it is. You use that martial arts for your liberations. Only when you are needed, you can go back. Like your father, you develop your awareness. Only when when you needed to help your son, to correct your son, you use it here. And after that, you go back to your awareness. Of course, I'm not there yet. I have all kinds of screw up here, my loop here, my drain of energy here, my like, my don't like. No, I'm here. So I'm telling you here, this is about the ancient teaching, not Hendrix. Okay, don't label me. Okay, do not label me. I don't want to be anything. Okay, so I am sharing this with you is this is the teaching of the ancient. Do you need 60 years to guess on this? Or once you know this, hey, make your move. Go get as far as you can. Go get the book. Okay? The real book, 1,500 years book. So this is what it is, right? You and I are equal because we all have awareness. And there is no higher or more superior awareness. That's why the Buddha's teaching is the Anyagdara Samya Sambodhi, meaning that we are equal, the true equality. Because it's awareness. The difference between you and me and us and the Buddha is how many layers the Buddhas or the monk or the Zen patriarch have breakthrough. How many layers we still get trapped. Like we trapped in here, we trapped in here, but the Buddha is they have already break through this. So this is what it is. Shaolin martial arts. It is not Hong Kong movie. So the Hong Kong movie philosophy idea, you have this Mui fighting the anti-Qing, and then you have this the Wing Chun fighting this what the rich guy who want to marry her. There's no end of it here. It never bring you liberations, and it never bring you advanced martial arts, because advanced martial art is depend on this. And there's a term on this thing after the breathing. In Chinese called 神通, in English is translated to spiritual penetrations, because once they break this, they can see it. If we are here, we are not aware of the momentum, we cannot see that momentum exists. So when they break through it, they be able to play with the momentum. So that is a spiritual penetrations. And spiritual penetrations often it bring with you when you was born. Many fighters today, not because they break through this, because they were born with it. So we call that talented person. So a talented person, if they go do drugs, you know, that's their karma. They never really break through. A real person who go break through everything will not do drugs, not do opium, not do sex, not do money. That's why the Buddhist monk, the real Buddhist monk, do not have any possessions. That's the practice of Buddhist monk. Because I'm just from the emptiness. I come from the emptiness or the natural or the awareness, and I get back into this world to help people to do whatever I need to do to break my problem. And then when I die, I go back to the awareness. That's your nirvana. It's just that. Of course, I'm not Buddha. I am not perfect. What I'm saying here is not 100% because I'm not Buddha yet. But I tell you what it is, what I learned from my teacher. Okay? So I hope that you understand. Today's a lot of Shaolin, a lot of this is, if you want to using the ancient teaching as a reference, those things what people preach today is nonsense. So why all this hatred? Like people say, Wing Chun is based on hatred. Because at the anti-Qing time, many people is making use of the Buddha's teaching. So for example, if I go to a village, I say that, they burn our Buddhist temple. They burn our Buddhist temple. So when we face them, we have no mercy. That's just to provoke people to against Qing. Okay? It already it is not a Buddha's teaching, but it provoked people to against Qing. So they are make use of Buddhism to mislead people. Do you know who really destroyed Shaolin Temple? Not the Qing. In the history, not the Qing. The guy who really destroyed Shaolin Temple is one of the so-called warlord in the after 1900. Because his personal screw up, he go destroy Shaolin Temple in Songshan and burn things away, and many things is gone. It's the Chinese who do that. So yeah, it's Qing, anti-Qing. What does the Qing do to you? It's the Chinese do that. With the Cultural Revolution. Is other people do it to you? Is the American do it to you? No. Is Mao Zedong do it to China? So many, many times in the history of China, people don't really follow Buddhism. They actually make use of Buddhism for their own power. Wing Chun, the same thing. I went to Fatsan and I talked to the researcher, and after we exchanged notes, he said, well, Hendrik, it's true. Yeah. We have evidence now. Uh, people is trained in the fine jet King Hua Hui Gun for say 1 or 2 days, and they send them out to the battlefield already. Okay, so you know that the guy who trained 1 or 2 days in the King Hua Hui Gun and or anti Ching place, how much Wing Chun they can get. So that's why you have all the screw up. Now, and on opium and drug, you know that Choi Lei Fat, Hong Seng Choi Lei Fat is clean. For past 160 years, Wing Chun is not clean. So Hong Seng Choi Lei Fat follow the Buddha's teaching because it is a Fatka, okay, Buddha's teaching. It never touched the opium stuff. You look at the history of Hong Seng Choi Lei Fat, but Wing Chun touched the drug and this left and right. That's why, again, you trap here. You cannot penetrate it. Again, this is not Hendrik say this or Hendrik the king of S21 or blah 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 say no. This is history. The reason I want to tell you here today is we need to strike out our act if we really care for Wing Chun, care for the teaching of the ancient, care for our future generations. No, it cannot go on anymore with all this nonsense like movie. Oh, hatred is the mindset, mind power. Well, tell me, where is the mind power located here? Obviously, the guy who 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 coined that mind power and stuff don't even know this, don't even know about awareness, because they might have some achievement or attainment in the physical body, in the static. They thought that is entire thing, but they miss the awareness base and they miss the entire thing completely. So it is this clear we can analyze things based on ancient teaching. Okay? Now again, past is past. The reason I'm telling you this is because I need to get into this intelligent world to tell you what is going on. There's only what is the notion of my agenda. And then after now I tell you, oh, let's forget about it because liberation is what we want. Why do you need to keeping telling other people it's bad, bad, bad? Every day you put down people, every day you hate people. Why you get into this trap? We say something is because we want to let people know and people can change to better. And after that, you go back to the awareness. So right now, let's go back to awareness, okay? And again, I have to come back here. Please get your physical body awareness. Develop that. Or else you're going to go nowhere for next a billion years. Thinking philosophy is a loop.